Hang around.
Which pair fits me best? These
They look beautiful.
or these
Oh, stunning.
or maybe these? No, I think in order to do this should be enough. Oh, it sucks, man. Reading glasses. So the customer, he wanted a Mokumegane dial with parts of red gold. So the exterior, as you can see, is red gold. It's a little second ring. There you go. And as you can see, you have the 12 and 6 that are emptied out. There will be Roman applique numerals with baguette diamonds.
Beautiful.
And of course, you have the applique that I'm working on now, right now. So instead of having a number on each 5 minutes, you'll have the name of the customer. So
That's very cool. Okay.
who am I? Okay, to answer your first question, I look at you, right? Sit over there.
Nah, it's fine because it's close.
Yeah?
Close to the
Is it good? Okay.
If I'm over there, then.
But I'm a Dutch engraver. That's maybe the best way to describe myself. My name is Kees, as you probably know already. I'm an engraver, and I became an engraver because of coincidence, probably. When I was a kid, I was always drawing and busy making things, playing around. And now, when I think about it, I was always carving into things, So when I discovered the craft, or the craft, right, of engraving, it automatically, or all of a sudden, it hit me, right? And I was 17, and that's normally the age when you start to think about what do you want to do with the rest of your life, or what do you want to do with the life ahead of you, So I thought that's maybe a good thing. I met this guy, this engraver, who was hand engraving when I came to his workshop, and I've never seen anyone hand engraving before, because it's not rare. It's not, you don't see that every day, do you? Right? And I asked him, is there any school? Is there any place where you can learn this? He gave me the address of the school. I think the next day, or I wrote a letter to the school and started doing that. So that's how I started. And once I was there, I noticed that it was not only engraving, because the first year you do a little bit of watchmaking, goldsmithing, so sawing, filing, welding, soldering, and so I didn't, and all these things interested me, or I was curious to learn more about them. So my specialty, if you want, is engraving, but I also know something about stones, precious stones, stone carving, stone cutting, stone engraving, stone setting. I don't do stone setting, but I know how it works. I don't do stone engraving very much, but I know how it's done, and I could do it. But since engraving is already a specialist job, you have to be a specialist to be good at something. Like you can be a musician. You can play the piano, the violin, and the guitar, and maybe the saxophone. But there's one instrument that is your instrument, right? For me, that's engraving. I do some goldsmithing, I do some watchmaking, I do some, if I have to, stone engraving, stone setting, but that's not the core business. When I came to Geneva first, that was way back in 1989, the first time. Well, wow, that's a long time ago. I started to work in a Geneva workshop, engravers workshop, and they did a lot of dials movements. So they were specialized in engravings for the watchmaking industry. So that's my first contact actually with the watch industry. And after having seen that for a couple of years, I guess, that's the way I function. I start to wonder, could I do that myself? Would I be able to make a watch? So that was like a question that I needed to answer to myself, first of all. So I started to make a watch, and I started to make another one, and then I was at an exhibition in Asia for a brand that invited me to go there, and I was wearing one of my own watches, and a guy came up to me and said, what is the watch you're wearing? I don't want to make fun of any Asian accents, but that's more or less how it sounded. What's the watch on your wrist? I said, well, it's not. I said, no, it's nothing. It's not a big deal. It was like, can I see? He said, it's wonderful. I said, yeah, but it's not. I mean, it's nothing serious because I made it. And the guy goes like, huh? You made it? I said, yeah. Can I buy? I said, no, it's not for sale. I made it for my wife. I'm wearing it now, But I can make another one for you, but this one you cannot have because it's for my wife, And that's actually the first time that I noticed that people were interested in watches I made, or could be interested in a watch I made. So I figured, why not make some more watches and have more fun and be free in what I make, because if you work for a watch brand, you have to deal with the designer or the manager or whatever, head of production, and all these people, they have ideas, but those ideas are not, in most cases, my ideas, right? So I'm very stubborn, you know me, I'm very stubborn. I have my own way of looking at things, and by making my own watches, I can express that way of who I am in my watches. See what I mean? So for me, it's not only a matter of gaining more money or becoming rich or what do I care. That's not the thing. The thing is, I want to do what I want to do, and that's for me like a ultimate luxury. Have time to do what I want to do the way I want to do it.